Hey peeps, what's poppin' everybody? It's Am from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your All Signs Book of Answers check-in for May 2022. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. For those of you that are not familiar with what I'm using here today, this is called the Book of Answers. What it has is it has nothing but answers inside. For example, this answer says, it could be extraordinary. Now, the intention usually behind this book is to answer a question that somebody asks. What I like to do is I like to look at this book in more so of an intuitive manner. So instead of answering questions that somebody would ask with this book, I'm going to pull two of the answers out and I'm going to use them more so as intuitive messages for whatever time frame that I'm reading. So this time frame is going to cover May 2022. If you want to go ahead and skip to your zodiac, it'll be in the description and the comment section below. You can feel free to check out the timestamp. I will be going in the traditional sense from Aries to Pisces. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into it and see what intuitive messages we can get for May 2022. All right, starting out here with the Aries, let's go ahead and give it a quick look. Let's see what we got going on here for Team Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. And the first message that we have here is going to be follow the directions. Well, with Mercury being in retrograde throughout May 2022, could be a good idea here to follow through with the directions or to pay extra attention to what it is that you're hearing, what it is that you're doing, or being instructed to do. Now, what I will say with follow the directions card, this very well likely could be that you're being currently directed or guided from your spirit guides. Maybe they're asking here for a bit more awareness on your end to follow through with what it is that they're asking for you or from you. Now, follow your directions here could be pay more attention to the GPS, okay? While you're driving, you might want to be more careful in listening and following directions. You don't want to take that wrong turn or wrong exit. So of course, be mindful with electronics during Mercury retrograde. It can make them pretty funky. Maybe it would be a good idea to have a backup thing if your GPS isn't working. Maybe print out some directions along with it. Go a little bit old school here, Aries. But I do feel here with the follow your directions or follow the directions, it's basically saying pay attention here to what you're being guided to do. Tap more in and be more aware, okay? Moving on to the next message that we have here for Aries. Throughout May 2022, what do we have? We have here, the chance will not come again soon. So this actually resonates, especially if you're being directed to take a chance on a situation, because it may be that whatever this situation is that you need to take a chance on, it might not be coming back anytime soon. This might be an opportunity that's coming up right now, and if you don't take it right here and right now, you may actually have a missed opportunity on your hands. So Aries, coming into May 2022, if you're feeling guided here to take a chance on something, you should go for it. You know, you never know if that chance is going to reappear. You never know if it's going to reappear in 5 years, in a couple months, in 10 years. Who knows when that chance is going to come by again. So if an opportunity window manifests for you, it might be a good idea to actually say, you know what, let me invest into this and let me not allow it to pass me by. So as far as what I'm gathering with the two messages you guys have, pay attention to directions, aka tap into what you're being guided to do, especially if there's some sort of chance or opportunity that heads your way coming into the month of May. It might not be a good idea to brush it off. It might be a good idea to go ahead and take the opportunities that you have right in front of you, as they may not come again anytime soon. So really pay attention here to what you're being guided to do. I think that that's probably the best thing that I can tell you, Aries, for your mid-May, or for your May in general, sorry. That would be the best thing that I can tell you to do. Pay attention to what you're being guided to do. Be extra aware of what you're feeling and what you feel is right for you. And when it comes towards taking chances, you might as well take them now, because you never know if that chance is going to return in the near or kind of, recent future. You don't really know, right? So go ahead and go for it. Go for something here. Don't hold back. All right, Aries. All right, going on to our Taurus now. Let's go ahead and check out the Taurians. What do we got coming in here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. Finish something else first. So they're saying don't get caught up on being involved in multiple projects, multiple situations. Take everything one step at a time, Taurus. Seems to be the best advice here for you. So jumping into your May 2022, don't start something and then don't complete it and then start another thing right after that. Definitely be in the energy of finishing something up first. So make sure that you don't have incompletions. Whatever this is that you're dealing with, right? Make sure that you take it one step at a time. Finish what you are dealing with first, then move on to the next thing. Moving on to the next message that we have here for you, Taurus. What do we got coming in here for you? What is another message we have here for Taurus throughout May 2022? And we also have here, you'll need to consider other ways. So it does seem to me like you're definitely trying to be the master of all things. This is the master of multitasking, Taurian. It seems to me like you guys are really focused on multitasking. You're really focused on trying to get a million things done at once, but you're going to find that that's not going to work to your advantage. Instead, that's going to end up probably overwhelming the crap out of you moving into this month and bringing you to a pretty burnt out space. So guys, I do feel like your guides here are trying to convey to you, hey, take everything one step at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day. The more that you try to tackle on everything all at once, the worse you're going to feel, the more stressed out you're going to be. If you handle the situations one step at a time, everything's going to work out for you so much better. So make sure you finish what you're dealing with first before you jump to something new. You'll need to consider other ways of how to multitask, because I don't think that multitasking is what's going to get your goals completed, but instead focusing on one, completing, and then moving to the next is going to end up being the most beneficial thing for you. So if you're looking for efficiency coming into the month of May in order to complete a task or to complete a goal, your best bet is to stay on task with what it is you're doing and not to be involved in multitasking. Bring all of your energy to the present moment and be present in what it is that you're doing, and you're going to start to really see some success, okay? So take that how that resonates, Taurus, but that's what I'm seeing here for you, okay? Moving on to the Gemini. Let's see what we got going on. What do we got coming in here for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. Let's have a look. Gemini, we have here know when it's time to go. Now, this could be referencing a bunch of things. This could be representing, walking out of a relationship, knowing when it's time to leave a relationship behind, knowing when it's time to leave a job behind or a friendship or something that's toxic or unhealthy. But knowing when it's time to go is pretty important, because if we're staying involved in something that is only going to bring in negativity moving forward, and it's only going to have a negative impact on us from then on out, it's not a great situation to be involved with. So knowing when it's time to go can be incredibly beneficial. I think this is what your spirit guides are trying to convey to you. Maybe it's time to pay more attention to where you're at and to really recognize that maybe it's time to go. Okay, moving on to the next message that we have here for you is going to be, what do we got for Gemini? And we got here, it's going to be great. Ooh, I like that for you, actually. So knowing when it's time to go, it's going to be great. It actually seems to me that by leaving something behind, you're going towards something even better. This is the energy of having to let go and trust the universe and trust the process. So if something here in your life really isn't working out, Gemini, if something here in your life has been stressful, if it's been incredibly hard to deal with, and you've just been holding on to it and it hasn't really been benefiting you, know that it's time to let go. Know that it's okay for you to let go of that situation, because whatever you're letting go of is allowing you to be pushed forward to something so much better. So whatever is awaiting you in your future is going to be fantastic. It's going to be great for you as long as you let go of what's really no longer serving you in this time period. So for Geminis that are dealing with a situation like this in May 2022, whether it's about knowing when to leave a relationship behind, when to leave a toxic situation, when to leave a job that's impacting and affecting your mental health, whatever the case may be for you personally, knowing when to leave behind what doesn't serve you is a beautiful thing, because when you leave behind what doesn't serve you, you're going to walk towards the path of what does. So that's what this month seems to be about here for you. It's about knowing when to let go in order for you to receive what it is you truly deserve right now. All right, Gemini? All right, baby, I like that for you. Moving on now to the Cancer. Let's see what we got going on, baby. What do we got here for the beautiful Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Let's have a look. The first message we have for you is accept a change to your routine. Cancers do not like changes one bit, and I can personally attest to that, being a Cancerian myself. Change sucks, but with that all being said, it's time to accept a change to your routine here. This is about doing things a little bit differently. What methods used to work for you in the past may not be working for you coming into May 2022. It might be time to change things up a little bit in that routine. So I know that change can be irritating, because when we get in our comfort zone, we like to stay in the comfortable place, but ultimately, if we change up our routine here, we may actually find that we get better results. So Cancer, if the old ways of doing things are no longer starting to work for you, it definitely seems to me like it's time to change up what it is you're currently doing. You should be getting a better result from that anyways. Change can be a relatively positive thing. Moving on to the next message for you, Cancer, is it would be better to focus on your work. So when we're talking about changing up your routine, This very well likely could be that maybe some of you Cancerians have been feeling rather distracted from your work. If you're a Cancer that's been feeling distracted from your work, the best thing you can do in your routine is to make sure that you are preparing better to focus on your work. This could mean getting more sleep to feel more refreshed in your career. This could be about putting more time and investment into your career in general, but I'm definitely feeling for May 2022, it's all about the funds, it's all about the money, it's all about the career here, Cancer, for you to really focus on. I think that right now, whatever your routine may be, maybe your routine in this current time period hasn't been too focused on your career. Maybe it's been, I'm in a routine where I'm focused on like a relationship, or like I'm with my partner all the time, or like I'm constantly doing other things. Like maybe it's time to switch it up and just get a little bit more focused into your career here, because this does seem like a pretty great time for growth and expansion within your career. So Cancerian, whatever your work may be, whether your work is representing a career, whether your work is like you're a light worker, and that's what you're being called to really do here coming into the month of May, you're being called here to focus back on your purpose, on your plan, on your work. And if you're in a routine right now that completely distracts you from that, I think that it's time to go ahead and get focused and get back involved into what it is you love doing on a daily basis. Now, Cancerian, I will say when it comes towards career and finances, if you do put more attention, more focus, and more energy into what your work or job is, you're going to see a better financial increase. So in May 2022, there's a good energy here that looks to me like you could be making more money as long as you're applying yourself more. Don't be afraid to apply yourself more. There's a lot more money here to be made than you think. So I would definitely go ahead and change up your routine and make sure you're investing more into whatever it is that you work at, or whatever it is that your career is, or what it is that you feel like your purpose is. Invest more time into that and you're going to see a lot more abundance, okay? All right, Cancerian. So finished up our Cancers, moving on forward to our Leo. Let's see what we got going on. What do we got here for Team Leo, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Leo, the first message we have here is seek out more options. So this could be about feeling like you're looking at something with tunnel vision. Maybe you're looking at one thing and one thing only, when there actually is a lot more options out there for you that are available to you. It could be time here to seek out more options because there might be better than what it is you're currently dealing with. So if this is talking about options in your career, options in love, if this is mentioning options in general, it does seem to me like you have more available to you than you think. So don't just settle, is what I'm sensing. Keep an open mind. There could be a lot more for you to explore than what you have not seen yet. So just because you haven't seen other options yet doesn't mean that there aren't other options out there for you. So I'm getting the vibe here to not settle, Leo. Definitely keep an open mind. Moving on to the next message that we do have here for you. What's going to be the next message here for Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus during May 2022. We also have here shift your focus. Yeah, so I really feel here like your spirit guides are trying to tell you, really get out of whatever it is you've been focused on. It seems to me like your mind has been very locked in on one situation and one situation only. And if you're only focused on one option that's in your life, you're missing out on potentially something better that you can have. So Leos, don't get involved in the energy of settling when there is so much more available to you that you may not see just yet, but it's there. It's there for you. I'm just getting that feeling here for you of like, whatever you're settling for, there's something better you can have instead. So I would just say keep an open mind here coming into May 2022. Don't make any sort of don't make any sort of really like quick decisions is what I'm sensing for you. I would take a step back and observe all the options you potentially have for whatever this is that it's referencing, whether it's talking about career options, options in love, or, you know, opportunities you want to take. Like, just make sure before you dive into something or commit to something, it's 100% what you want, because there is probably something better out there than what it is you're currently focused on. So keep an open mind. I feel like there's something that suits you better out there, more than what it is you're currently doing. All right, so I'm just keep an open mind. I'm not telling you, don't go after what it is you're doing. For example, let's say the one option we're talking about currently is a job that you like. Maybe you recently applied to a job, you feel like it's going to be a good thing for you. If you really feel 100% in it to win it, if you feel committed to it, go for it. But if you are just settling down for something just because part of it's okay, it's like you can live with it, you can deal with it, don't settle down to something that you don't feel 100% invested in. because there are other options out there that you will feel 100% invested in anyways. So just make sure if you're tagging and committing to something, if you're settling down with something here, make sure you're 100% for it, okay? All right, Leo, moving on to the next zodiac. We're going on now to our Virgos. Let's see what we got going on for the beautiful Virgo peeps. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Virgo, what we got here is going to be setting priorities will be a necessary part of the process. So, looking at your first message, setting priorities will be a necessary part of the process. It does feel to me like you have to prioritize something a lot more than you originally did if you want to see routes of success. Let's say right now we're talking about wanting success within your career. Well, then your career definitely has to be pretty up there on the top of the priority list in order for you to really start to see everything unfold. You know, for a person who puts in half the work in what they're doing is going to get half the success. But if you're if you're an individual who's putting in 100% of the work, you're going to be that person who gets 100% of the success, right? So I feel like coming into May 2022, this message is trying to say, how far are you willing to go to see yourself thrive? How far are you willing to prioritize a situation in order to get that 100% success rate? So you have to be mindful of how much you're prioritizing something and where that falls on the top of your priority list. Is it at the top? Is it at the middle? Is it at the bottom? Because those are all going to provide different results. You know, if your priority is like, well, it's kind of in the middle, then you're going to get a bit of a middle outcome. If it's low priority, you're going to get a low outcome. If it's a high priority, you're going to get a very successful outcome. So based upon what you prioritize and where you rank it is going to be based upon the outcome of your success, okay? Moving on here to the next message for the Virgos. What's going to be the next message here for Team Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. We also have here, you need more information. So I do feel like when we're talking about what it is that you're prioritizing, you also have to put more time into researching what it is that you're actually prioritizing as well. It does seem to me here, Virgo, that research is going to be incredibly important in order for you to be more knowledgeable on what it is that you're prioritizing. So if we're talking about work, if we're talking about career in this current moment, you know, this very well likely could be the energy of like, well, if you want to have a more successful business, prioritize spending more time learning about your business. Not only are you going to prioritize more time working on your business, prioritize more time researching it, researching how to market to people, researching about the products that you're creating, the products that you are making, right? Put more time into expanding your knowledge on what you're doing. And the more that you prioritize knowing more about what you're doing and how to succeed while doing it, the more and more you're going to start to see success here too. So I do feel like overall, best message I can give you is if you want to see a big success rate, make sure what you're prioritizing is at the top of the list, and make sure as well that you're investing more time researching on how to be successful towards what it is that you're prioritizing, and you will definitely see here a lot of success. But overall, the level of success you attain is going to be based upon how much of a priority are you going to rank what it is you're doing, at the top of the list or the bottom. It's really all going to pan out based upon your own outcome, okay? All right, Virgo, moving on forward to the next zodiac for today. Let's go ahead and have a look here at the Libra. What do we got going on for Libra, baby? What do we have here for Team Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May. The first message we have is it is something you won't forget. So Libra, coming into the month of May here, something might happen that you definitely will not forget. And no, I do not believe that it's something inherently bad. I do feel like maybe something here is happening that's going to be a pretty wonderful memory here for a few of you. So this could be the energy of a memory of like a first date. It could be the first experience of something that's super wonderful, and it's like, damn, I'm never going to forget that because that's going to be a happy memory that's really going to live on with me. So I do feel that vibration coming in here for a few of you of not being able to forget something because it's going to be one of those wonderful first experiences. So there could be some sort of first experience coming up here for you. And we also have here, let your emotions guide you. Wonderful. So guys, I think that you're looking towards something that's going to be a pretty great first experience, whether it's an awesome first date, whether somebody here pops the question and it's like, oh my God, he asked me to marry him and I'm never going to forget the way he proposed. It was so amazing. You know, it could be that energy as well. Some of y'all might be getting a proposal, who knows? But overall, with the let your emotions guide you coming in here as well, I think that this is the message that's saying ultimately there's a first experience for everything. And if it's a wonderful one, sit in that energy and enjoy it as much as possible. Because remember, you can't go back to the memory that you're currently living, right? So if you're living right now in something that's going to become a wonderful memory, sink it in, soak it up, and enjoy it as much as possible, right? This is the energy of like, allow yourself to know that you're in the good old days before they come or become the good old days, okay? Because this is going to be something that's happening to you that years later you're going to look back and say, wow, that was like a really great day, or wow, that was a really great experience, and I'm so happy that I had that. So Libra, something here is happening for you coming into this month, and I just feel like you're being called to enjoy it and take it all in and be as present as possible because it's wonderful for you, and it's going to be one of those things where you look back a couple years later and you're like, man, that was the greatest experience I could have asked for. It was such a great and fantastic time. So your guys are saying focus up, be present, and allow yourself to just be happy with this new experience that you'll be having, and really be present to the moment and soak it all in, because it's going to be something truly wonderful here for you, okay? Not sure specifically what it is for you, Libras, but it does seem like something awesome. You know, it could be that first sale that you get on a business you started. It could be a proposal coming in. It could be the first date that you're going on, or the first time you went hiking or skiing or whatever, and you're like, man, it was amazing. You know, it's a first experience that marks a beautiful memory. So really be present to the moment and live in it, okay? All right, Libra, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. All right, moving on now to our Scorpios. Let's see what we got going on here for Team Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Let's have a look. The first one out is going to be press for closure. Okay, does it mean like press the button or something? Who knows? Kind of looks like a button, right, with this little circle. Either way, does seem to me like it's time to get closure in a situation. It's definitely time for you guys to kind of push. I would say push would be better than press. Push for closure this month. On an intuitive level, it seems to me like you've definitely been thinking about something, you've been reminiscing, and you've been wanting closure about a situation for a long time. You know, keep in mind during this time period, Mercury's in retrograde. The thing about Mercury being in retrograde is that it avidly brings up what's been beneath the surface and brings it to the surface. So if there's anything that you had a lack of closure on, whether it's an experience that's happened years ago, whether it's something that's happened recently, if there's something you've wanted closure, it's time to go ahead and get that closure moving into May. Moving on to the next message that we have here for you, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and take a look. What is the next message for Scorpio? And we have here, allow yourself to rest first. So I almost sense that they're kind of telling you too, like before you go in for this closure, make sure you give yourself a period, like a break, a brief period here before going for it. Because sometimes closure can be a very draining experience. It can be a very intense experience, right? That requires a lot of healing. So I feel like in order for you to make closure or to get closure in this month, give yourself some time off first before you go ahead and try to receive it. Let's say, for example, here, you want closure referencing a past relationship. You know, give it time first to heal. Give it time first to accept that that relationship's over. And then if you want to know why it ended, if you want to know what the other person you were dealing with was thinking or what they're feeling, feel free to message them. Feel free to ask them about how they were feeling, what they were going through, and maybe you'll receive a sense of closure through that. But the most ultimate closure we could get is actually accepting the situation for what it is. You know, if we're talking about a breakup, accepting the fact that you and a person are no longer together in a romantic sense is a really big, massive closure, right? Because if you can accept that, you can move on. So acceptance really is the closure. And I feel like allowing yourself here to rest first is kind of mentioning allow yourself to heal first, you know? So if you're a Scorpio that's looking for closure, maybe you're going about it in a way that actually isn't helping as much as you thought it would. For example, let's say you're a Scorpio right now, and what you're doing is you want to talk to your ex, you want to figure out what they were going through or what they were feeling. Maybe the best thing that you could do to actually receive closure is to accept the fact that that relationship's over. You know, I think acceptance is the greatest form of closure. And I think that that's what I'm feeling guided here to tell you. It's like you're trying to find closure in all these other ways, but I think that all these other ways are just going to lead to more questions. You know, let's say that you ask your ex, hey, why did you leave? Why did you break up with me? Or what are you feeling now? They may answer those questions that you seek, but those questions that you've already sought out might actually end up giving more questions or making you have more questions about the situation, going into like this endless loop of not finding clarity, when the clarity is actually right in front of you. The clarity is the ending that you went through, right? So if you come into the energy of acceptance this month of things that have ended, or things that have turned out the way they've turned out, I think that that's going to provide you the most ultimate clarity, Scorpio. I think that that's going to be the most beneficial thing I can tell you, okay? So I would say clarity goes when acceptance comes, okay? Clarity comes in when you accept the situation wholeheartedly for what it is, all right? So that's my best message here for you, Scorpio. Hope it resonates and hope it helps, okay? So we finished up. All right, moving on here to the Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on for you guys. What do we got here for Saggy? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. We do have here, accept a change to your routine. Okay, pretty similar. This was the first one that came out with Cancer's reading. So, accepting a change to your routine. This could be about switching things up, changing things up a little bit. Remember, doing the same thing isn't going to get you a different result. So, if you're looking for different results, it's time to snap out of this routine and move into something different. Moving on to the next message we have here for you. What is going to be the next message here for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we also have here, setting priorities will be a necessary part of the process. So, Sagittarius, you're being called here to change things up. Essentially, what I feel like the biggest change is going to have to be is what it is that you're making a priority in your life. Are you putting it at the top of the priority list? Are you putting it at the bottom? Are you putting it in the middle? Because it all really depends on how successful you're going to be based upon how much you're prioritizing something. So I feel like the routine that needs to be switched up is your routine of prioritization. If you have something in front of you, let's say for example, right, you want to be really successful in your career, but you put your relationship above your career. You know, there's nothing wrong with highly prioritizing your relationship, but instead of having that above your career, let them meet in the middle. Let them be on the same plane of resonation, right? You know, have your partner know that you still love your partner, you still respect your partner, but at the same time, you have a dream that you're pursuing. You have a career that you really love and enjoy. So it's not about putting one above the other, but instead it's about bringing them to the same level and recognizing that if I can really put my relationship at this top of the priority list, I can also make my career on that same exact plane as well. So it's about making sure that you're not putting one on top of the other, but instead making sure that you're bringing an equal amount of balance into play. So I think that what you really need to switch up here, jumping into May 2022, is not so much about your priorities, but more so about balancing your priorities. You know, you can have two things be very highly prioritized, but you just got to make sure that you're having enough balance. You know, you're giving enough time to prioritize the relationship, but also you're giving enough time to prioritize the career or whatever else it is that needs to be on top of the priority list. So Sagittarius, don't let one thing be higher than the other. Bring them to the same plane of resonation and add a bit of balance. That's all. I think that that's the best advice I can give you. Don't put one over the other, but instead bring them to the same level and make sure that you're putting in enough time in each and enough energy in each, and you will definitely see a rapid growth of success here, okay? All right, Saggy, I like that for you. Moving on now to the Capricorn. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for the beautiful Cappies. What do we got going on here for Team Capricorn? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. Capricorn, we have there is a good reason to be optimistic. Ooh, I like that for you. So don't be pessimistic here, okay? Be the opposite. Be optimistic AF. Allow yourself in this current time frame, Capricorn, to say, you know what? It's possible that this could work out. It's possible it could happen. Remember, impossible literally spells out I'm possible. So there are infinite possibilities in this world. So there's a good reason to be optimistic is what I'm seeing here for you guys about whatever it is you're doing. Moving on to the next one for Cappy, we also have here, it seems assured. Ooh, so Capricorn, something here really seems like it's going to be working out for you. I think that it's good to be optimistic about it because there's a high chance that what you want to succeed will. So Cappies, if you've been a little nervous here about something, maybe you've been nervous about getting a call back from that job you applied for, maybe you've been nervous to hear back from your partner about how they've been feeling, maybe you've been nervous about something you've been pursuing, right? Ultimately, it seems pretty assured. It seems like what you want is favorable towards you. So I would go ahead and keep an optimistic point of view. Don't psych yourself out and feel like what's going on right now is not going to work in your favor, because I'm getting the sense of whatever happens, it's all going to be working out in your favor, even if what you want doesn't happen. And what do I mean by that? Well, Capricorn, let's say that you applied for a job and you're waiting to hear a call back. Let's say you get that call and you don't happen to get the job. It still worked out in your favor. And you're going to say, Aunt, well, how did that still work out in my favor if I did not get the job? Because rejection's God's protection. If that job wasn't meant for you, you surely were meant for something better, and best believe you're already on the path to get it. You're already on the path to receive it. So Capricorns, assure that you're protected this month. Reassure yourself that you are in the right place at the right time and all the right things are unfolding for you. Continue to be optimistic that the universe is constantly working day in and day out to get you to your greatest destination. And if you allow yourself to say, universe, I trust you and I trust the process, you're going to be golden here moving into May 2022, because you're going to move to exactly where you need to go, and it's going to end out and turn out very wonderful for you here, Capricorn, okay? So that's the best thing that I can tell you. Allow yourself to really trust in the universe. Allow yourself to be reassured that you're on the right path and you're going to get there, okay? All right, Capricorn, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we did the Cappy. We're going to go ahead and move on now to the Aquarius. What do we got going on here for Team Aqua? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Aquarius, we have here, explore it with playful curiosity. Ooh, this could potentially be a new situationship. It could be a new relationship with somebody, or maybe you're just in the talking phase right now with someone, but explore it with playful curiosity. I feel like you're being called to not take something too seriously, but instead be more in a playful energy about it. This especially if we're talking about love here, Aquarius. You know, if you're dealing with somebody romantically, if you kind of caught a vibe with someone, you know, don't be too serious with it in the start, right? You got to get to know somebody. You got to get to hang out with them and have a fun time. Don't instantly be like, well, are you boyfriend material or not? You know, in due time, time will tell, but let yourself have fun with the process of getting to know somebody, especially if there's a romantic vibe there. Now, let's say this is about your job. You know, instead of taking it way too seriously, be playful with it. Be passionate about it. Enjoy what it is you're doing. You know, sometimes when we get caught up in doing too much or being way too serious in the things that we do, it takes the fun away from it. And there's a lot of fun in this world. There's a lot of fun in this life. So instead of looking at something way too seriously or being way too seriously invested into it, let yourself have a little bit more fun with the process of what it is you're doing, is what I have here for you, okay? Moving on to the next message, though, that we'll have here for Aquarius. What's going to be the next message for Aqua? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And we have here, there is no guarantee. Yeah, I think that this is the energy of the universe saying, listen, nothing is guaranteed. Anything can frickin' change. So if you take something way too seriously, you're missing out on just enjoying it for what it is. You know, you could be in a situation that can last 5 months. You can be in a situation that can last 50 years. You never know how long something successful is going to last. You never know how long something good is going to last. So you might as well just say fuck it and enjoy it and have fun and not take it all too seriously. Because if you are taking it all too seriously, you could be missing out on all the good stuff that's happening. Because usually if you're taking something seriously, it's because you're trying to provide longevity. But at the same time, if you happen to lose what it is you've taken too seriously, you might have missed out on actually enjoying it all along. So I feel like the universe is saying nothing is guaranteed, and that's okay. Enjoy it for the moment. Enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it for where you're at. You know, if you're in a relationship right now with somebody and things are fun, hey, it can turn into something serious over time, but let yourself have fun with that person and enjoy it. You guys could be together today and not be together tomorrow. Who knows where the future will be? Who knows where it'll end up? But at least enjoy the process of what you're doing. So I feel like coming into May 2022, you're being called here to more so enjoy the process rather than to take situations too seriously, as that can make you have a less enjoyable experience, okay? All right, Aquarius, moving on. All right, and last but not least, let's see what we got going on here for the Pisces gang. What do we got, baby? What do we got here for Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. Let's go ahead and have a look. We have here, it will be an opportunity. So Pisces, there's something coming in. I feel like at first you might not be viewing it as a good opportunity, but I do feel like there's some opportunity manifesting for you. So at first you don't see it as an opportunity, like you don't feel like this is something that would be considered an opportunity or that it would have any sort of benefit to you. But the more you kind of tune in to what's happening, the more you actually will start to see a situation as an actual good opportunity. So guys, I would say don't rule anything out jumping into May 2022. If something happens in your life and at first you kind of think nothing of it, tune into it because it could be a lot more than nothing, right? Let's say that you start a new hobby coming into the month of May and you're really good at this hobby. You're really skilled at it. You know, you might think nothing of it. You might think, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this hobby, but maybe this is a hobby that could actually be an opportunity to become a lifestyle and a work for you, right? A lifestyle and a job for you, a lifestyle and a magnificent career career, right? You know, I've seen tons of people turn hobbies into friggin' careers. So you might think nothing of it at first. It's like, oh, it's just a hobby I'm really good at. Well, guess what? Lock in a little bit to that. Pay more attention to that hobby and see you could probably make something of it. It could be an opportunity to become a career, right? So I feel like pay attention to what it is you're doing. What may not seem like it could be a great opportunity at first can actually be an awesome opportunity for you. It would be something that you think nothing of, okay, is what I'm sensing here for you. Moving on to the next message for Pisces. We have here, you'll have to compromise. Oh yeah. So compromise comes towards anything, right? Let's say if you're in a position of time where you recognize that a hobby of yours is going to be a great opportunity to become a career, you will have to compromise in order to make that a career. Maybe you'll have to take out more time in order to do your hobby. You'll have to prioritize it a lot more to make it actually become a career. You'll have to invest money into it to make it become a business. You know, you'll have to compromise in the sense of you'll have to put in more work and have a little bit less free time to make it more of a real thing, right? If you want to make something that was once a hobby a career, you have to put aside the time that you already are spending at your 9-to-5 job or your whatever job you currently work. You have to put aside all the time that you've been working in that in order to invest even more time into making what you're doing become an actual career for you that supports you on a daily basis. So having to compromise, I feel in this situation, means having to put more time into whatever the opportunity is this month that you recognize is a great opportunity for you. So Pisces, as odd of a message as it is, don't rule anything out coming into May 2022. Something that may seem like nothing could actually be everything. And I know that that sounds like the dumbest sentence ever, but it's true. You know, like I said, when it comes towards like a hobby you're doing, you're really great at playing video games. Okay, you might think nothing of it at first, but do you know how many people are really great at video games and end up doing live streams on Twitch and end up getting super duper famous and making tons of money and getting tons of sponsorships because they're so amazing at the game that they play, right? Maybe you have a hobby in knitting and you never knew how popular the knitting community was on YouTube. So you decide to start a YouTube channel on knitting and that becomes your day-to-day business. And then you end up opening websites where you knit stuff for people. You never fucking know. So ultimately, Pisces, this month, don't rule anything out. You know, there could be a great opportunity right in front of you that you're not realizing. So tap into your awareness and take a look at what you're doing in your life. There could be an opportunity right in front of you to take it to the next level. And it doesn't have to be just about career. It could be about anything. So Piscean, very much so, do keep that in mind. But guys, with that all being said, thank you so much for coming out to the Book of Answers check-in for May 2022. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If it resonates, let me know down in those comments down below. I think that this book is freaking awesome. I love doing these check-ins, so I'm more than happy to hear back from you guys if you still do enjoy these check-ins. I like doing them on a monthly basis. So if you had fun, if you enjoy these, please let me know, and I will definitely continue to post more over time. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely consider subscribing if you're new here and joining the Soul family. But with that being said, much love to all my peeps, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Much love, guys, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.